Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with...
Hey, Tanner. Don Bones Jones.
Oh, fuck.
A.K.A. Donovan. Donovan.
And?
Your boy, a.k.a. the casual fan, Tanner.
Woohoo, he's back.
It's good to be back, boys. It's good to be back.
Good to have you back. I think the last time you were in here was the Battle of Your Boy on episode 20. So
Yeah, it's been a few months.
it's good to have you back.
Thank you, thank you.
Shout out to Young Dog down in Florida. Hope you're enjoying your trip.
Enjoy that sun, buddy.
We'll get you next week, but we thank everybody else for checking out the Roundtable. This is episode 29, Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. If you haven't already, go check us out on Instagram and Twitter at PWLookBack on both of those. If you want, send us an email over at prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. You can head over to the website if you want to purchase a t-shirt, mug. What else we got, Don? Stickers.
A tank top now.
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice tank top.
Stickers,
Yeah.
too.
Summer's coming up, so get a tank top, get some stickers.
There you go. Put them on your skateboard if that's what people still do. I don't know.
Put them on your fridge.
Pro Wrestling Lookback. Teespring.com/Pro Wrestling Lookback is where you can get all that stuff. If you want, follow me on Twitter as well, at Salsa, SCELSA.
At Just Don 44 is mine.
At Royalty 40.
There we go. That's everybody's Twitters in there. As per usual, if you're not listening already, go check it out. iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. That's where you can find all the shows. Hit 5 stars if you feel the need and you like the shows. We'd appreciate the hell out of that. And yeah, thanks for checking out the show. With all that out of the way, boys, how's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How you been, Tanner?
I'm good, man. I've had an interesting week, but, I'm happy to be back on the show with the boys.
I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
because, I feel like after the Battle of Your Boy, Younger, did he take the title and you just let? I'm like, did Tanner did he lose and just drop the belt?
You
What
don't
happened?
remember he surrendered, bro. He didn't want anything to do with it.
So are you like the interim, like your
Listen
boy?
back to that.
The interim champion.
I'm the Kobe, boy. But no, listen back to that episode. He doesn't even say your boy when we sign off. But who said it?
You both said it at the intro, and I don't recall the sign-off. But either way,
sign off was me.
it's good to have your boy Tanner
Guys,
back.
I was trying to stir that pot, eh? Remember us specifically saying there is no battle here, boys. But Don was like Ariel. He's always instigating shit over here.
I did my job, man.
It's definitely me and Donovan stirring the pot on that
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
And not you and Younger. That's
But no,
for sure.
I'll take the W.
Hey, I'm not gonna decide winners here. I don't wanna get anybody upset.
This
but
shit's never gonna end, is it?
Be on the lookout for the rematch, you guys.
Gone for 2 months, come back, it's still going.
It's coming up.
yeah, we'll find out when we get you back. But like I said,
Yeah.
thanks for checking out the show, guys. And I don't know. I figured, like we talked about last week, we're gonna kind of mix in the beginning of our roundtable, kind of just talking about us. But the weather is getting nicer.
Oh, finally.
And I am fucking excited, boys.
Yeah, even like when we get rain, like the good old saying goes, I'd rather have rain than snow.
Yeah, at least where we live, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Because-
Canada's pretty rough when it comes to
and
winter.
Not that I want to get talking about the weather too long, but I just mean me being somebody that works outside, Tanner being somebody that works outside, Donovan used to work outside, formerly working outside. We're all excited for the fucking warmer weather to be coming our way. So
5 degrees Celsius is just like a damn blessing right now.
buddy, it's the best time of year. Like we got,
give it a couple more months and then I'll say it is.
well, I mean, I was kind of thinking more for everything else. We got WrestleMania coming up soon.
Yeah. Isn't technically today the first day of spring?
I think
Might have been
it was
yesterday.
yesterday,
Yeah,
actually.
it was
Yeah.
yesterday? Yeah.
Might have been yesterday. We
Al.
record on Thursday, so yeah.
Al brought that up to me yesterday. Shout out to Al.
Shout out to Al.
Yeah.
Episode, he was on not long ago, and
Yeah.
he was the first guest on episode 1.
Like your boy came down?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we called him.
we got him on the phone.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of different types of phone call episodes, man. We did one where me and Donovan were in here, or I was in here by myself, and Donovan was on the phone, so it was just me in here recording by myself. It was really weird,
Oh, yeah.
and the intro was awkward as hell to do, but I'm sure it turned out fine. Let me know if it didn't.
How'd the
but-
sound quality turn out with that, though?
it sounds just like any other, like if you listen to a podcast and they have a guest on and it's, X famous person on the phone, it kind of just sounds like that. I mean, except for Don's not X famous person. He's X PW or not X.
Oh, he's a beauty.
Yeah.
Hollywood Don might say different.
Oh.
So I, don't know.
Oh,
I wouldn't want
shit.
to, I wouldn't cross those.
Yeah, when the yellow glasses come out, things change.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, WrestleMania, and I was hyped up this past weekend for fucking F1 is back, boys. Anybody who follows me on Twitter knows that.
Yeah.
First race this weekend. Excited as hell. Valtteri Bottas came through with the W.
Who does he race for?
Mercedes. So this was a big, I know
Yeah,
this
what else? What?
We'll get in there, and everybody was expecting Ferrari to come away with it, and Mercedes kind of took it, and not only Mercedes, but the lesser of the two, Valtteri Bottas, the teammate to Lewis Hamilton. If nobody knows what this is, I don't know. I'm going to be doing a little bit of an update more or less every other week on the roundtable. But
has he raced for Mercedes before?
Yeah, this is his third season, but last year he raced the entire year, didn't win a race, and Lewis won the championship.
Ooh.
So he's kind of in the hot seat in the sense that, if your teammate wins the title and you don't win a race, it's you're in the hot seat. But he won the race on the weekend. He passed Lewis right at turn 1 or basically off the jump and stuck the lead the whole time. He pulled into the winner's circle at the end and he said to whom it may concern, fuck you. And I was like, all right.
I like that.
Good for Bottas.
I always want to ask that. Like, I know they're teammates, right? But do you think Lewis low-key gets salty about that?
He was happy in the post-race interviews because it's first.
He's doing a public forum
too. And it's also the first race of the year, and they weren't expecting to be as high as they were. They did expect Ferrari to be better than them, so for them to get a 1-2, I don't think he was that upset. But at the same time, in F1 in racing, the number one person that you're looking to beat every time is your teammate, and then everybody else. Because your teammate's in the exact same car as you. So it's a direct comparison as far as who's better between the two of you.
Yeah, it's definitely a good point, actually.
Yeah. So it's that's the little bit. I'm going to get a sound effect down the line, hopefully, just a near, something like that. But
can we get that one more time?
That's the F1 update for this week. So Valtteri Bottas in first place, Lewis Hamilton, and Sebastian Vettel in third.
Nice.
I think it was Vettel. Yeah, it was Vettel.
No,
it was Max Verstappen. Jesus. Either way.
Okay.
Let's get to the wrestling. I'm sure anybody listening is like, come on.
No, I had some shit to talk about too.
Did you get to Dono?
Lay it out there, Donnie.
Well, I binge watched some DBZ the past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Some new DBZ.
Oh, they got new DBZ?
Yeah. So I got like 5 seasons of Blu-rays, and that was my Saturday.
Just binged it,
Yeah. Most of them.
That's why he changed the color of his microphone to orange.
Yeah. Showing love.
You never go wrong with
I actually
that
created a drink now. I've created a drink and it's called Goku, and I'm going to be debuting it WrestleMania weekend. So everyone who follows us on Instagram,
real?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look out. Be on the lookout. I'll do it on Instagram.
I'm curious about it now, though.
I'll unveil it. Yeah, I'll give you the sample.
Okay,
You'll be here for Mania, right?
Yeah.
We'll have a glass together.
Is there alcohol in it?
Yeah, it's the Goku.
Sweet.
It's called the Goku.
It's the Goku.
Yeah,
it's my drink.
Of course.
It's actually pretty genius.
Yeah, check out the Instagram.
Is it orange?
I'm a man of many talents, If you read my Twitter bio, it says that. So
yeah, it does say that. He's not lying.
Yeah, Dono doesn't discriminate, but
he's not lying. Yeah, I don't know.
I also watched that Michael Jackson docu. I know a lot of people have been talking about it.
Don't pull that up right now.
No, I'm just saying I know a lot of people have been talking about it. I was curious to see it, so I checked it out, and it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes me think about what about that whole R. Kelly thing?
Yeah, see that's what I was telling Nick off record. Like that one, I felt like I heard so many podcasters and places talk about it, and I missed the boat. So I was like, I don't need to see it. I feel like I've heard enough of other people talking about it.
Yeah.
This one, it was still very early, and I just happened to be scrolling on the Android box, and I was like, oh, okay, let me check it out. I haven't really heard much about it, so I wanted to see for myself what it was all about.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you're the respective watcher of that for the Pro Wrestling LookBack, because I will not be going anywhere near that documentary. So I'm happy that
I'm curious about
you were able to watch that and provide me some thoughts on how it was.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, like I said before, WrestleMania in 3 weeks, boys. We're getting fucking close.
Getting close, eh?
And Tanner's been away for 2 months, so we got to fill him in on some of the shit. We watched some stuff before we hit record, and we filled him in on what needed to be heard.
Give me what I want.
I feel like
Batista.
That was yeah. What are your thoughts on what we saw there? I mean, I guess we can start with that if you want, Tanner.
What you said to me, like we were watching that highlight, you were like, people are talking about thinking he forgot his lines, and honestly, it kind of does sound like that.
In that first promo, I thought so, just because he repeated himself
like 4 or 5 times
more than he needed to. But what did you think about the clip that we got this week in the? I guess the office in Florida, Tampa, but more or less a hallway somewhere. I'm not sure.
With the brick?
Yeah. The curtains and the little soft-spoken Batista talking to Triple H. You can obviously speak on this too, Don.
Oh, yeah.
Love Batista. I know Don's a big fan of him, and didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know too much about it, but he's the guy's an actor. He's good at what he does, right?
For sure. And he brings knowledge that maybe some of the people backstage might not have because he's been on Hollywood.
How frequently has he been coming on and all that?
He's only been on Well, 3 episodes because he showed up when he beat up Ric Flair, and then he showed up.
But he hasn't had a match.
No, not yet. He's just gonna have his match at WrestleMania. He just wants
with Triple H.
Yeah, and it's something that he's lobbied for, behind the scenes in Twitter and stuff like that for years.
Yeah.
But then for them to bring it into the storyline, I mean, I'm excited for it. It's cool for me because it was the first WrestleMania I saw main evented.
It's pretty nostalgic too, eh?
Exactly. Yeah, they made, like I said, they main evented WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
Here we are at WrestleMania 35, and they're fighting again. So it's pretty cool.
You know which part I didn't like about that promo, actually? I didn't mention it to you yet, or you. I know you didn't see the end of it, Tanner, but at the end, he's talking very calmly, and then at the end, like when he's getting up, he's like, "Get out of my office!" And he like yells. He does that, "Give me what I want!" Like, "Get out of my office!"
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Kinda,
get out of here.
And I was like, I love Batista, but that part just kind of bothered me because I felt like he had to resort to that again, like just, you know what I mean? Like I felt like he was frustrated.
Yeah.
In even his delivery. And I liked this promo. But
I feel like
he was like overselling or something.
I felt like he was just like kind
thinking
of frustrated.
he needed to scream to get the point across.
Exactly.
Gotcha,
Thank you. Yeah.
But and that's what I was going to say, because I heard a lot this week of kind of complaining about him being too soft-spoken in the promo, and I liked it. It seemed more serious. It reminded me of a movie, Bad Guy, when he, they speak quiet and you fucking listen.
Yeah.
It's always been a saying, don't speak too loud. Make people want to listen. Make people have to listen.
I thought, shout out to the Don Tony show, I thought he kind of broke it down nicely. I heard him say that, comparing last week where he was like a rabid dog and spitting, and then this week he was a lot more calm. And then you think about how he's like the shit he said, he's like, I'm going to end Triple H's career. It's kind of like when you think about someone who's like, kind of psycho and they're going to kill someone, they're very like spazzy like that.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. Like, because he got very serious where he's like, I'm going to end his career.
Yeah.
Like he got very serious, but then
calm and collective Batista would probably scare me a lot more than like very intense yelling Batista.
Well, that's what I mean. To see both sides, it's kind of like, shit, what's up with him? Like he's
a little bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So I like that aspect of it. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably a little rusty, right?
Maybe.
I had
he's
said
purposely doing that.
It's the live aspect, I think, that's the rusty part. Because, I mean, he's not rusty at delivering lines. I mean, that's what he's been doing for years now, especially being in Hollywood. But not every day are you live in front of 19,000 plus X million on whatever's watching.
It's not like they have direct lines when they're out there, right? A lot of it is like improvisation.
I've
had a long week, so
it's all good, bro.
But yeah,
we're happy to have you back in studio.
Thank you. It's good to be back, boys. But yeah, no, you're making up your lines on the spot there, right? So
I meant to say it last week too. I kind of commented on our Instagram page saying like, but Batista's never really been the best mic guy.
It's true.
He's been all right. Like,
I can't think of a standout Batista promo.
He's not like a Miz or a Cena, like one of those good, like a well-rounded microphone guy ever, really. And even I feel like last time when he came back, he said in interviews back then, like, it sucked when he had to leave because he was finally starting to get his groove back as far as talking and actually in-ring work too.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering now, like, shit, I wonder if I don't know if he probably won't fight anybody else on a Raw in a squash match or something before Triple H. I wonder what it's going to be like. And if he's going to be around a bit after, or is this going to be a one and done,
Mm-hmm. Personally, I think it'll be a one and done WrestleMania thing, but in the next 3 weeks, I would imagine we'll probably get some kind of contract signing.
Yeah.
So do you think he's just going to come in for WrestleMania and that's just going to be it again?
Yeah. And I mean,
like what Lesnar does?
Even less.
Yeah.
Literally just a one-off.
Get a nice fat check, bring up some...
I don't think it's as much, obviously the money's involved, but I seriously think Tanner,
he doesn't need it.
With this one, I think he wants to have his last match be with Triple H in a non-storyline sense with the guy that helped bring him along through his whole career.
Very well said, and what better place to do it than WrestleMania, the biggest event.
Yeah, exactly. And I won't be... We'll get more into it next week when we really dive into our WrestleMania preview, but I don't think he's probably going to win this either. Like I said, we'll talk more next week.
You think Triple H will win it, eh?
I do, and that's more just because I think Batista will do the honorable wrestling thing, and he'll go out on his back. You know what I mean?
Is that how people go out?
Typically,
yeah.
With a
loss.
Yeah, like Ric Flair retired in 2008. Was it?
Yeah.
It was 08?
Batista's retired, isn't he?
Not technically. Like he's never really had his
announced
quote unquote last match.
Yeah. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No,
not yet. No.
Oh wow, he hasn't been inducted in there. Right?
No, that's another reason they kind of usually you don't really have another match after. There's people that do. Beth Phoenix is coming out and
Kurt Angle,
exactly.
Yeah,
but usually that's kind of how they do it. But I don't know. Well, like I said, we'll talk more about WrestleMania and all the matches next week, but I figure why not hype it up? Like I said, Tanner's here now.
Yeah.
Get him hyped up because we're going to make you come watch WrestleMania so you can come do the roundtable post-WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's prerogative. Gets the people going.
I think on the topic of, guys retiring, last matches, maybe another guy who's announced he's having his last match at WrestleMania is Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
Like this is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he announced that last week in Philadelphia that he was going to be having his final match.
No, wait, wasn't it in Pittsburgh, in his hometown?
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Okay, yeah.
It's
okay.
Pennsylvania, same state. I was getting confused. So yeah, he announced in Pittsburgh that he was going to be having his final match at WrestleMania.
Who's he fighting?
And he said, I'll let you know next week who my opponent will be.
It's got to be on something on par with like Triple H and Batista. But
I wanted to ask you before we tell you.
Okay,
if you could have him fight someone, who would you pick? Maybe like you said, on par.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, if you could see him, this last match.
I'm not old school enough to know.
No, but even current
anyone,
people,
maybe even someone you personally like or something like that.
And forget the fact that people are tied up in other matches for the hypothetical.
Just essentially anyone on the roster.
Yeah.
Old or new. That's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Would you like an Undertaker match?
I feel like they've already done that with Lesnar and Undertaker.
Or a John Cena maybe, since John Cena.
That'd be cool to see Cena come up and do that.
Right.
So that was the popular opinion of most of the fans because John Cena's first match on the main roster
was against Angle.
Was against Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
He made his debut in WWE against Kurt Angle.
That would not be a bad send off.
Mm-hmm.
And when was the last time Cena was in the ring?
Well, he was supposed to be at the Rumble. What was he in? He was there before the Rumble. He did something before the Rumble, and
Isn't he on Japan?
He was at one of those greatest in China for super show things. I remember he was at one of those.
That's what it was.
Right?
Either way, so he's not really around. And then he fought last year at WrestleMania, but he lost to Undertaker in what was it, a minute and a half or 2 minutes or something?
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah, it was quick. I can't believe that even happened, to be honest. But
it was kind of a shitty way to do that when you have two powerhouses like that in the ring.
Yeah, no build or anything. It was weird. Just Cena calling out Undertaker for weeks and then sitting in the crowd eating popcorn.
They ruined that.
Yeah, it was
so much more.
Yeah, it could have been.
It definitely could have been, but. So essentially, WWE for a week put out on all their social media, who do you want Kurt Angle to fight? Undertaker? Do you want him to fight Kane? Do you want him to fight Triple H? All these great names, you know what I mean? Shawn Michaels come out of retirement. Who?
That would be a good one, too.
Yeah. So everybody's speculating. Most people were, writing John Cena. I wanted Taz, even though I know Taz can't wrestle anymore. I just thought that would be wicked since Taz made his debut against Kurt Angle as well at the Royal Rumble 2000, Don?
The commentator Taz?
Yeah, yeah. And so Kurt Angle came out this week and grabbed the microphone.
I was on the phone with you when this was going on. That was funny. You were telling me.
Yeah. You were on speaker, and I told you while you were on the phone. So he grabbed. Do you want to be the one to tell Tanner, or should I tell him?
Oh, you break it to him, yeah.
So he grabs the mic, and everyone's waiting for his big, announcement, and he announces that he's going to fight Baron Corbin at WrestleMania.
No.
Yeah.
If everyone could have just seen my face right there.
I know.
Trust me, that no that you just gave, I think, was enough. It's...
Why?
Man.
Yeah.
We all have a sour taste in our mouth from him, I feel like, you know what I mean?
And, I get it from a storyline perspective. He's mad about the whole GM stuff and him taking his job. And, yes, if
Drop the story, though. You're going out on your retirement, man.
Exactly.
20 years from now,
right?
Nobody's going to remember that match if he does it with Baron.
Exactly. So, to me, I guess we can talk about it now. Mm-hmm. Is this happening? Because WWE is acknowledging the fuck out of the fact that the fans are in uproar about this. Baron Corbin came out later that night on Raw, or it might have been, I don't know, either way, later that night.
Well, do you think this is all playing the storyline from the company?
Possibly.
Or do you think it's actually Kurt Angle? No, it wouldn't be Kurt.
No, it wouldn't be Kurt. Because even Kurt wrote on fucking Instagram later that night, he's like, I know everyone's not happy with this decision.
Understandable.
But I really want to, make Baron Corbin tap out at WrestleMania. And okay, Kurt, fine, that's... Okay.
That's just, it's not the fight. There's so many better people on the roster. I feel like didn't I call him the stale piece of bread earlier, or who was that? I don't know.
No, I think you did. I'm not sure. It's just...
He's actually horrible on the mic.
The only positive that he brings, is he's a heel. He genuinely gets booed. He's not one of these bad guys that comes out there and everyone's like, yeah, I fucking love that guy. He's a bad guy that gets booed. Is it go away heat, quote unquote?
Kinda.
You know what I mean? or is it actual heat? I think it's probably more go away heat.
And why is he still wearing that?
I know, right?
Yo, you want to shout out the Don Tony show. Fucking shout out to Kevin Castle, because when he talks about the Applebee's waiter, bro, that is the funniest shit.
Oh, it's actually right on par.
Yeah, he does. He looks like a fucking Applebee's waiter. It makes no sense, bro. He hasn't been the GM for like 2 months. Why are you still wearing a dress shirt, dress shoes, and khakis to the not khakis, you know what I mean, dress pants.
He's really bought into his role.
To the fucking, like, what happened to your gear?
Yeah,
aren't you still a wrestler? Don't you want to be a wrestler?
Yeah. Like you said, I think the only good point that comes with Baron is like he's just naturally a heel. Like it's in his blood, and he can't be a babyface ever again.
Oh no.
He played a heel so good just because he was so fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, we can kind of full circle it. Do you guys think are they going forward with this, or are they doing this so we all go twice as crazy when Cena does come out at WrestleMania?
It's one or the other. He actually hit it right on the button. You know, I can see the company definitely doing it, so the fans get all riled up, and there's a lot of intensity and emotions involved into it, and they'll fucking hate it, but that'll bring in a lot of money, right?
Yeah,
and also they can lead the fans, you know, to believe that that's going to be what's going to happen, and then Cena comes out, and fuck, how many people are in that arena for WrestleMania?
Oh, this year MetLife, it's going to be, I don't know, 60, 70,000, maybe more.
Yeah, imagine all their reactions to being surprised with like somebody like Cena coming out.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, yeah. Whether it's a good idea to, again, quote unquote, not advertise Cena for WrestleMania going in, I don't think whether that's going to affect ticket sales or not, I don't know. But I hope that's what they do. Tanner's the casual fan, and he said it best himself. Like, no one's going to remember this shit in 10 years because of this storyline with Kurt Angle needing to get the better of him because of the GM. Nobody remembers Kurt Angle as a fucking general manager. They remember him as a fucking Olympic athlete and an incredible professional wrestler who picked up professional wrestling.
That's true. That storyline is way out there more than when he played general manager.
It's not that I want to brush it all under the curtain like it never happened. It's just like, let's remember Kurt for what we remember him for.
Even me, casual fan, and even like people like such as yourself, you know, like pretty hardcore fans and all that. I feel like when people think of Kurt Angle, they think about him, you know, in his wrestler jumper, you know, with his gold medal, doing all that type of thing, not him being a general manager.
Exactly.
So just drop this general manager like debate shit. I don't know. I think it's stupid what WWE is doing, but they're a multi-million-dollar company, so they probably know what they're doing.
Yeah.
At least sometimes. They make a lot of decisions that I'd like to question, just how we were talking about, like the Cena and Undertaker situation. Right?
Yeah. I think we could get both happening.
What, he beats up Corbin and then Cena comes out after?
Yeah, because I think he's gonna get done with Corbin.
You think
pretty
they
quick.
do that?
Yeah. Like it'll be quick. Like, he's gonna tap him out.
And you
he
think
might just
they'll
tap him
have
out
a
quick,
real match after?
And then maybe Cena comes out and is like, Kurt,
I feel like that like stains.
You don't want to go
though.
out like this. Like you want to have a
I feel like that stains it though. Just even have Baron in the beginning of it.
What if they tweaked it and Cena comes out after Baron Corbin and right before they're about to have their match, and then Kurt Angle and Cena just beat up Baron Corbin and then have a match against each other?
That'd be good too.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
I'm down with that too.
Crowd would love it.
The crowd would love that.
And I don't know. I guess at this point, like I said, it's
that too.
Heat.
But the fact that Kurt Angle specified that he wants to make him tap, I feel like that moment will happen too. So that could be that moment. Maybe Cena does the FU, and Angle just kind of grabs him in the ankle lock. He's tapping away, get out of there. And
but
then
we still get it. I hope that's
Angle
not it.
Cena. No. Then we get Angle Cena.
That would be incredible. I wouldn't even, and we can move on from this, but I wouldn't have been upset if we got Chad Gable and Kurt Angle, what we had on Monday Night Raw this week. If we got that at Mania, I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Build a guy
with
up.
A little bit of build too, maybe.
Yeah, with a bit of build and a Chad Gable win, as much as crazy as that might sound.
For Kurt Angle too, you know? He's like handing the reins to like the new Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Exactly. The guy that wrestles just like him. And that match that they had on Raw, it was good.
Yeah.
But you can tell that Kurt Angle does not move the way he used to move.
Oh, he's getting, what is he, like 50-something?
Probably late 40s, if not almost 50, yeah.
But he's
because I would say Triple H isn't even 50, and I don't think Kurt Angle's older than Triple H.
Yeah, he's definitely close to that area, right?
Yeah.
But he's a lot more. He's banged up too. Kurt's been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
when you do that for a career, like shit, your body can only take so much.
Well, he's one of the guys who was always, like, even outside of WWE, going.
Yeah, Wrestling TNA and other companies, and won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, he never stopped.
Yeah.
No, shout out to Kurt Angle, but
he's bringing a lot to the profession.
Fuck yeah, one of my favorites.
Sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours too, right, Nick? Yeah.
Me? Oh, Kurt Angle's in my top 3 favorite wrestlers of all time.
You loved him when we were younger. I remember that.
Yeah, the whole wrestling machine era was kind of, I really loved that version of Kurt Angle. Did we see the Heyman promo? Anybody? The Seth Rollins, Heyman, because that stuff was good. They cut a good promo back and forth. I like that.
Heyman's a greaseball, but he's very good at his job.
It's fantastic on the microphone.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Do you...
I feel like I can smell him through the TV.
he's kind of greasy.
Yeah. He just needs to let that hair go.
We got to show him what he looked like back in '94 in ECW. And
with the fucking
ponytail.
I feel like he just had like dirty.
Bro, he
like,
used to wear a
strippers
leather
on him.
jacket down to his ankle, like a trench coat, and a baseball hat and a ponytail at the back of the.
Oh
of
shit!
The,
yeah, he was the
super
type of guy you
greasy.
see at like a strip club on a Tuesday night. He's just ripping Linos and shit.
Oh man,
Just having the dirtiest strippers on him. But
jeez, I honestly, you know what? I'm only saying this because I know I've heard him talk about it, and he was like super sincere when he talked about it. He's never tried cocaine, and I've heard him
for real.
Yeah, I've heard him say that in an interview, and it was something to do with his mother and not.
Oh, he's seen that before.
Something, yeah, it was something. I don't know if it was his mother did it or his mother just drilled into his brain like, don't fucking do this.
Yeah,
whatever it was, but I just wanted to make sure.
That's a good example of never judge a book by its cover, right?
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, he does look greasy.
Oh, he's
so, but he can cut a fucking promo better than anybody in WWE. So,
yeah,
you know.
Well, I wanted to ask Tanner's kind of opinion on the whole Brock Seth scenario going on. What do you think? Are you as a casual fan? Are you over Brock? You were on a little bit of a rant last time, if I don't remember, right?
You know what I feel about Rock. He's still holding a title for fuck's sakes, and he just makes 2 appearances.
Yeah, but are we ready to have Seth? Is Seth the right guy to take it off of him?
I'm so over Brock, and I feel like everyone should boycott that shit because it's ridiculous. I get it. He's a golden boy, and I don't know. He seems to have his hand up Vince's ass. I don't know. He's playing him like a puppet.
We heard last week, was it 2 weeks ago? We were talking about the money that got released, and that apparently he makes $12 million a year.
Yeah.
That is fucked for showing up twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
And there's wrestlers that are doing that grind, like in the mainstream, like WWE. And they're doing the grind every week, and they're not making a fraction of that. Probably
some of them were making like $80,000.
It's such a biased bullshit.
Not that that's a bad income.
It happens with any sport, though. You know, if you can bring the crowd, the likes, the attention, all that. Some people are more charismatic than other people. You know, it happens in any sport.
Yeah,
you know, it's like John Bones or like Conor McGregor and all that, right? They might not necessarily be the best poster boy, but they bring the people in.
Yeah.
You know, and Lesnar unfortunately does do that, but I'm just confused because I don't know how he's still doing it. I'm so bored. He's not even a fucking good wrestler to me. Would he just suplex some dudes and call it a day and leave?
Tanner's not wrong because he used to be such a good wrestler.
Yeah.
If this was what he was from day one, then it would just be like, oh well, this is Brock Lesnar. But no, back in the early 2000s, before he left to go to ECW, Jesus, check out that show coming this weekend, UFC. He was incredible, man. Like, he used to do wild shit.
I feel like he just comes out now, does his tough guy walk like some, back in high school where there was that guy that always thought he was fucking tough as shit.
This is where I differ because I don't disagree with the way that he's portrayed. I think Brock's all 100% into it. And maybe I'm the only guy that thinks that.
I don't know. He came out with the same mentality, and even in the UFC.
Yeah,
I just think he's an alpha dog, yo. It's no act. He's just a fucking born alpha.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way to put it. I mean, shit.
Like, he's probably never really that good on the mic. Why do you think that he's always had Heyman?
Don, I think I'm gonna have to break out this one for the first time.
Okay.
You've taken your first step into a larger world.
That was actually an appropriate situation to use that one. Kudos to you, bud. Kudos to you. You got applause on there? Shit.
You're damn right.
Yeah, I do, actually. But no, because that's a really good description. He's just an alpha.
Yeah.
He's just no matter where he is, no matter what scenario, what situation you put him in, he's probably
going
to
anything.
Yeah.
Like, even back in his college wrestling days and all that, he still had that same mentality and aurora to him, you know what I mean? He's always just very calm, collective, quiet guy, but he's tough as fuck, and he intimidates with how we talked about Batista being calm and collective would be more terrifying than a screaming Batista. Lesnar is an intimidating guy, but
he just does little things and Tanner didn't see it, but when they had that WrestleMania 34 show that got released about a month ago, Donovan, and they showed that clip because So when he lost last year in the main event to Roman Reigns, when he got backstage, he whipped the title at Vince McMahon. I mean, like, whipped it at him.
In front of the cameras?
Oh, yeah. Like, but not like, it was like documentary cameras.
Do you think he just improv that, or do you think he was actually pissed?
No,
or like what?
I think he wanted Roman to win. And he was like, why the fuck am I keeping this belt?
Yeah.
That's where I get the perception that he enjoys professional wrestling.
Oh, for sure. He wouldn't be doing it still.
I mean,
I don't think he's
I just think a lot of people have the perception of him
not giving a shit about it.
Yeah.
I think that a little bit now. Back in the day, that was just part of his character, you know? Like, sometimes he can maybe come off like that. But now I feel like he doesn't really give that too much shit about it.
It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. It's just my own personal...
If he maybe he does want to be a lot more involved, but the character and the storyline that they're trying to portray with him is he has to play that character when he just shows up a few times a year.
I'm very curious to see what happens at Mania. And I know I said again, we'll talk about it next week in the preview, but what do you guys think? I mean, I know we were going to talk about the promo, but I don't know. Give me your thoughts on just Brock and Seth.
Yeah, the closer we get, like I don't know, man. Like I've kind of talked about it a little bit last week. The whole happy-go-lucky thing. Like I don't know if it's a guarantee. As much as I want this Brock shit to be over and done with, like I've had it with it. Like I'm okay with Seth Rollins carrying the title and into the new season, quote unquote, of wrestling, and let's see what he does. I want to see him in new, fresh matchups and a constant guide, maybe every pay-per-view defending the title and different storylines. But I don't know necessarily if it's a guarantee that he's going to win.
Yeah.
Still, I'm not 100% convinced he's going to win. Yeah.
And we talked about that, and that's because of the amount of baby faces that were looking like they're probably going to win at WrestleMania, and you can't have every babyface win. You got to mix in some heel wins here and there, but we will see.
Yeah.
I didn't like the chair stuff this week on Raw. I wasn't.
Oh, no? Yeah.
I did not like these fucking chair shots at all, man, because he hits him, 15 to 20 times in the back while Drew was laying on his all fours.
Oh, is this the guy that had padding underneath his vest?
Well, apparently you brought this up, Donovan. I didn't.
Where did that source come from? Did someone see it in the stands or what?
Well, he kept his jacket on. Drew McIntyre kept his jacket on, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of.
It's just weird that they would do that then, though. Like I understand there's a lot of shots, but those chairs are made for that, right? So it actually doesn't give you too much pain, I'm sure.
That and where? I'm just curious. Where did you see this, or where? Like,
oh no, I heard it on another show I was listening to.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I didn't really like
dive into it. Yeah.
But
either way,
I'm curious to know.
Padding or no padding, I don't give a fuck. It's a TV show, and when somebody gets stabbed on a TV show, they don't actually get stabbed. So
that's a good point.
This is a TV show,
but I miss that element of wrestling a little bit.
I don't disagree with you. I just accept now that it's a TV show, and it's not. And I know we've watched a lot of ECW done in the last 48 hours, but
that doesn't help.
It doesn't. No, and I don't know. I just the selling is what got me here. I don't care about padding.
You didn't like it?
No, I don't like the fact that Drew was hit, like I said, 15 to 20 times at the beginning of the show in the back with a chair, and then he's in a match 2.5 hours later. And completely, you would have no idea that he took 15 chair shots.
Yeah,
2
he didn't
hours.
sell no injury or anything.
Nothing.
Like that.
He didn't come out holding his ribs. He didn't there was none of that. And it's not Drew. I mean, obviously he's directed to do this stuff, but I just
that's a good point.
Where's the logic there? In the
what was the point of him getting hit 15 times if they're not going to follow that up later in the storyline,
right?
Or something, or pretend it essentially didn't happen from the looks of it. But
so that
is that the match that he had with Rollins?
In the main event, right? So, which I mean, we might as well talk about it now. How do we feel about Seth Rollins being pinned by a distraction pin 3 weeks out from WrestleMania?
Well, Tanner said it good when we were watching.
Yeah, you said it happens all the time.
But that's the problem.
I know you're upset about it, and that is the problem, right? But that's just wrestling shit. That's always been happening. How many times does the guy turn away and then he gets speared from behind, or the ref doesn't see something because he's acting like he's blind or some shit? Like
I'd be more okay if it was the ref because he's not in. I know he's directing the match, but it's like Seth, you literally have Drew McIntyre, this big beast, 2 feet away from you. It's not like you knocked him out. He's right there. Brock is 80 feet away from you at the top of the ring.
Doing that Lesnar smile.
I can understand when they look and they see at the top of the Tron or the stage that the other person is there. It's when they continue to look like, oh, shit, he is there. And I'm still staring at him because he's there. And I'm waiting for the person to... I don't know.
I don't know why you're so surprised on that. I don't know if you're not surprised.
Surprise probably isn't.
You know me, I've seen that so many times, and I always chirp the shit out of it. It always happens.
I think it's because it used to happen a lot in the women's division.
Yeah.
2 to 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, and they've come away from it.
Do you think they're just milking it too much?
Well, it's the fact.
It's just too cringy almost?
No, it's the fact that I can see that you saw, like, WWE saw that this maybe wasn't the best idea to do with the women, and they've gone away from it. You don't see it all the time now in the women's matches. So why are we bringing it in?
No, if anything, I think the women's matches are the most entertaining thing nowadays.
For sure.
And not in a sexual way. Like, they're savages out there.
Genuinely, yeah. And they're good athletes now, too.
Fuck yeah.
It's come a long fucking way, especially when we watch some of the lookbacks
I'm so happy they're getting respect and everything that they deserve now. Like, the first ever, female tag team.
Yeah.
The pay-per-view. You know, they're breaking a lot of boundaries now, which is much needed, because before, in the old school wrestling days, it was very sexist towards women.
It was either your bathroom break or your time to
but I feel like
it was TNA.
Who's the girl from Toronto there?
Trish?
Yeah, Trish. I feel like that was like the era that it all started to turn, and they just weren't looked at as
It did. Like, I would say it was low, and then it's very up and down.
It went back down and up. Yeah.
Early 2000s, when Trish was having stuff with Lita, that was good, but then it really took a dip down.
Yeah, that was. I remember seeing highlights from that. I don't know if we watched them from back in the day, but
possibly.
They had quite. It was dirty, man. They were beaten. It was like how the girls are now.
Yeah, and then it took a big dip where they only hired models for 5-6 years, and then it started
fake tits and pink outfits and shit like that, pillow fights.
Kelly Kelly. Actually, no, she doesn't have fake tits. But either way,
Donna loves those pink outfits with sparkles.
But yeah, I think that the distraction.
Oh wait,
thing,
I was gonna say something about that distraction thing.
Yeah, because we can go back to that.
It would have been the distraction. Okay, at least Seth Rollins should have got out of the ring and maybe charged at him. Go, you know what I mean?
Take a count out.
I hear you. It's very played out.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah, him taking a count out would be.
And Seth wants to fuck him up. He showed that with the chair shot.
Yeah, he was trying to scare Brock with all those chair shots. And another thing, and I know this is maybe too wrestling psychology, whatever, but I just don't want the challenger, my guy that I'm supposed to be rooting for as the babyface, to go in and conquer the conqueror, Brock Lesnar,
and losing.
yeah. And I know it was a distraction, but it wasn't like a chair shot to the head and then a loss where it's like, okay, whatever. It was simply Seth. It was Seth's fault. All you had to do was just not look at Brock.
This part of it just hit me now, though. Do you think maybe they're going to use the angle with Drew? Because Drew might be taking on Roman, and now he's beaten Dean last week, and he beat Seth. So do you think he's going to kind of, maybe he's the guy, I beat the Shield. Right?
That is interesting.
Maybe that's where they're going to go with it, to steam up Drew. This just came to me now, kind of thing.
Is he going to beat the man? I don't know if that'll happen. Yeah,
the big dog.
I guess I can't use the man.
The big dog and the big comeback. Like I said, can't be all happy-go-lucky, man.
Has he came back? I know he said he's cleared again and he's returning, but has he had a debut match again or no?
Well, he was supposed to last week against Drew McIntyre, and then Drew McIntyre beat the holy fuck out of him before they even had a chance to start the match.
Did he?
Yeah,
he beat the shit out of Roman?
Yeah, and then they carried Roman to the back, and Dean went up to Triple H, and he's like, hey, I want a match against Drew right now. I want to defend my buddy kind of thing. And then Drew fucked up Dean.
If you don't mind me bringing this up right now, you said that they brought the Shield back together for a match or something like that.
At Fastlane.
1,000th time.
Yeah, so yeah. I was like, come on, boys, figure out what you're doing here.
Which is, you're the casual fan and you know this.
Exactly.
For fuck's sakes.
That's why I want to know, how did the beef actually end with Seth and Dean? Because I don't think I saw the end of that beef.
Yeah.
How are they all boys again?
It was.
Fill me in.
Roman came back.
Yeah.
And Roman and Seth were getting beat down in the ring.
And the boy Diener came to the rescue.
Yeah, but he remember he was leaving. He went to leave. They wanted to do the thing.
Yeah.
And then he went to leave the building kind of the same way that they used to come down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then other people came out and started beating on them even more, and Dean's up in the stands with the fans, trying to decide whether he wanted to go back down to the ring, and then he did go back down and he helped them and they did their fucking Shield.
So he's just doing that walk away and he's seen his boys get beat up. The emotions flooded back in. He couldn't stand idle by, eh?
I think the biggest thing, which I don't even know if we've told Tanner, maybe we should probably tell him now, or unless you already know, the reason that it's not a big deal to anyone is Dean's gone. Dean's leaving.
What do you mean? He's leaving Raw?
He's chose to not re-sign with WWE after WrestleMania.
Oh, didn't we talk about that? I thought he was already taking a step back from it, and he came back again, didn't he?
No, this is like.
Oh, so I remember you telling me that he was planning on like taking a step back.
Yeah,
and
I think
not
I sent
focus
you
on
a.
wrestling. Like he wants to have a kid and stuff and all that, doesn't he? You were saying?
No, it's not. Well, I mean, not that to my knowledge, possibly, but it's more just he wants more creative freedom. He wants to be able to choose more of what he's doing, and I think he just wants a break from WWE. To be honest.
Oh, so he hasn't done that yet? Because I remember you telling me that like a couple months ago.
It's because I sent you the screenshot of the Instagram.
Yeah.
Because typically WWE won't post something like that.
No.
But they posted it. They said Dean Ambrose has chose to not re-sign his contract with WWE at the end of April or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan's looking at me over there like he's still
Well,
not.
no, because I've said it before, man. I still feel like if Seth wins the belt, there's going to be... But this is me and my fandom and having faith in WWE, but they always seem to let me down when I have faith, so I don't know. But I feel like...
Just don't have a favorite wrestler anytime soon.
Yeah, seriously.
Anytime Donovan
WWE's
gets
like
behind,
a bad ex-girlfriend, you know?
But you
still want to keep coming back.
Yeah, you think things might change, but they never do.
The fan in me, the inner WWE fan in me is saying that maybe Seth wins the title, and maybe on the last hour, hey, Dean, they come with some kind of storyline.
I feel like if
some
Dean's
kind of storyline around that, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like if Dean's coming out and saying he's actually going to take a step back, he probably will. Not to say he won't ever return. How many times do wrestlers back off and come back? But
I'm only biased because of who broke the story and journalist
who broke it?
Wade Keller, who's my wrestling...
A very well-respected
Yeah.
reporter.
But they got to find a new way to work people, and maybe this is it.
It's, hey, if
that'd be
Wade's
pretty
in on it,
dirty,
that'd be
but
amazing.
yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know if he would put his reputation on the line though for something like that.
No, but maybe he's just speaking on what he knows too. Like that's
you
the
think
information
they fed him
that he
false
has.
information?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's true too. They could have given Wade. Yeah. You never know.
You never know with a company like WWE.
You definitely.
But
never...
I give them a lot of. This is me giving them a shit ton of credit right now.
Oh, that's actually what they're doing, feeding false information to reporters and shit just to portray this. That's pretty ingenious. That's dedication.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Too much credit though. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's unlikely.
We shouldn't get ahead of ourselves.
I hope. I hope.
Once again, the ex-girlfriend scenario.
Yeah.
Donald keeps going back for second licks. Eh?
Nah,
Yeah,
that
you
ain't
do,
me.
boy.
That
Yeah.
ain't me.
Did
Donovan has no? There's no sex life here. I'm just the on-air personality. So yes.
He comes in, we plug him in the wall before the show.
Yep.
He's only a real person.
I turn him on, and then
Pick a name.
When I'm done, I upload the files into his head, and
This is correct.
I don't know where I'm going from here. But did anybody see the Alexa Bliss segment on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, did she get hurt?
She did for a while, and now she's being billed as the host of WrestleMania. So she has.
Okay.
She came back. I think she was in the Rumble. The women.
Yeah.
So she came back. She's been in the ring since the whole concussion thing, but she's definitely.
Where did she receive that concussion with Ronda?
Tanner,
I don't remember.
Jumping right to Ronda.
No. I just remember they had some pretty aggressive matches, and like Ronda, she was new and trying to prove things.
Yeah.
She went a little far with some wrestlers.
I don't know
think
if
so.
they announced or if they have a
Where
specific.
it came from.
Yeah, it was
could
just
have
something
happened in practice or some shit.
exactly. But she's definitely taken a more of a limited role as far as in ring goes. But they have a talk show now, kind of what's it called, the Moment of Bliss.
There you go.
So she's up on the stage and it looks like a talk show. She's got chairs.
So she isn't even wrestling at this point.
Why does everybody get a talk show?
It's kind of crazy, but
they kind of are overkilling that.
some of them are good though. I like the Kevin Owens show, and I actually don't mind this.
What's
I gotta be honest.
R-Truth and Carmella?
They might have had a show
they have
for like a
one?
week.
The Miz has one. Sometimes.
Remember that shit was cringy? They would do the dances and all
I don't
that.
know.
Oh no, was that Bailey?
I don't know,
I wouldn't be surprised if Bailey got a show. Hug her. It'd be called Hugger. Like hug her. Get it? Like
buddy. How about
Yes, Donna, we
Carlito?
get it.
Carlito had the best fucking talk show.
what was this called again?
It was Carlito something, but it was
The guy with the curly hair?
yeah, and he was one of my favorite wrestlers ever.
Did you see Salsa's flow from back then? He had the
Yeah.
Carlito flow. You did a great job. Did you Afro pick that shit?
Oh, all the time.
Beauty.
I've been told him to grow it back.
I know. He looked pretty dope.
Yeah,
Hats wouldn't even fit on his head, like literally.
I definitely would be taking the snapbacks and adding a few notches to that if that was the case. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about her being the host.
Yeah.
And whether this means anything. Because we're not getting a celebrity host this year. I know we've got the two fucking Saturday Night Live guys that I've never heard of that are involved with that Braun Strowman shit.
Like SNL?
Yeah.
I hope Braun Strowman knocks that guy's teeth out.
Who, the white guy?
Literally, yeah. He should just hit him
Definitely.
for not.
There was
selling
so-
that.
so there's
For
these-
not-
There's these two guys. Well, we might as well just
I
get
haven't
in.
watched SNL in a while. They've gone downhill so much.
No, and neither have I. And unless you guys have anything to say about Alexa, I
But
think
Bliss,
I love her.
she's a good talker. So like maybe we'll have some. I think weeks ago when you were asking me about the whole towel and like stuff like that, I think they were leading slowly to this.
She was in a towel.
Like all her little segments and weird EC3 stuff, like all her moments, she's been very mic oriented leading up. So I think it's all leading to this. Her doing little.
Hold on. How recent was she when she was in a towel?
Tanner, eh? She's been doing a lot of like sexual.
Can we view this clip for scientific? Oh my God, kids! Scientific
purposes.
Jesus.
I'll show you after we're finished recording. But no, she's kind of been doing like sexual innuendos. Like she said to Ricochet, or not Ricochet, EC3, like, oh, you show me yours and I'll show you mine. And then she got cut off by somebody. Like she keeps getting interrupted on her show. And then I love this. She said something to Elias this week, like, oh, like, I don't know. She just.
Elias would take one to her.
But the towel thing was fucking pointless, bro, because.
No, it's not.
No. The segment was pointless because it was this guy.
Look at Salsa. Everyone just looks at her for eye candy and Salsa's like, this segment shit.
No. It was great to look at, but I'm speaking from a storyline, actual, perspective.
I got you. Yeah.
So this coffee, this was weeks back now, but this guy was like knocking on the door, like he had a coffee for her, like, oh, Alexia, I'm here with your coffee. And Will, who was on the show, he made such a good point. This guy knocked on the door like 18 times, made sure she knew he was coming in, and then opened the door, continued to knock, and was like, I'm coming in now, just letting you know that I'm walking in the door.
Yeah.
And then he gets in there, and she's like holding like her shirt, or just like the top of her shirt with a towel, and she looks over at him like, excuse me, and it's like, he fucking knocked 17 times. You could have said something like,
I love how you're so upset about how shit this segment was.
No, but it was Will that opened my mind, because Will's like, the guy knocked as he was opening the door. I
can see Will being like that,
like letting her know.
Why can't you guys just enjoy the eye candy? Eh? You, Will, are the type of guy to look at me like, that's a shitty fucking sketch.
I told you it was fucking great to look at. It was this
segment shit though. I don't think they were trying to make it like a fantastic storyline with that. Like it was just primarily for the candy.
If you knocked on a door 17
times,
but
it's WWE,
and you walked in the door,
you think that shit's realistic?
Sometimes it should be.
Yeah,
should be.
Why the fuck am I watching it then?
But they do.
Whoa, easy.
No, seriously,
easy. Okay,
why am I watching it? If it's not supposed to be and at all realistic, why? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, in the sense, in terms of wrestling, real wrestling, and fighting, it's not realistic by any means. Are they amazing athletes? Yes. Are they amazing actors? Yes.
But in that world,
everyone knows it's not real, though.
No, and everyone knows Iron Man's not real either. But when you watch fucking Iron Man, he's real in the Iron Man universe.
All right, let's back away from this road. I don't want to.
No, but I'm just
no, but it's true. Like,
I'm just saying that's the way.
I don't think Iron Man's realistic. What the fuck? There's no way that could exist.
But when you're watching the movie, you believe that he exists in that world.
Yeah, because it's a movie.
I look at wrestling the exact same way.
Like this is a show.
Like literally the exact.
I'm not gonna win this one. I'm too hardcore fans versus the casuals. So maybe the other casual fans would understand where I'm coming from this. But let's just back away.
Possibly, if Moo didn't bail on us, maybe he would be here to back it up. I don't know.
Just to send out to Moo there, eh?
No, hopefully he hears it. I don't know.
Then these last 2 minutes, we probably blew up everyone's headphones.
It's all good.
This is the shit that they want. Man.
Yeah.
This is the shit people want to hear. People fucking arguing and shit. It's great. Trust me. I listen to too many shows, but I don't know. I just want to be able to buy into shit, and that.
I'm not saying you can't buy into something, but when I buy into something, it doesn't mean I necessarily think it's real. Like the definition of realistic is something that potentially is real.
Okay, wrong word that I use. Sorry, Donovan. Let me 1 second.
Yeah.
It's not that it's real. I mean, it's real in that universe. Just like in the Star Wars universe, a lightsaber is real. That's what I mean when I don't mean physically in our world real. I mean in the universe, quote unquote, of that media.
I get what you're saying.
It exists. So when I watch wrestling and I see somebody in a headlock, yes, I know. All he's got to do is choke the fuck out of him and knock him out.
So you're saying that segment wasn't like he was real in that universe?
No, he was just saying it was like weird because the guy was like, "Hey,
no, yeah,
I'm coming in."
He says it didn't make sense.
And she was
knocked
like,
on
"Hey,
the door.
what are you doing here?"
It's like
he knocked on the door 18 times,
Yeah.
and like he fucking finally came in. And she's like, "What are you doing?" Or
she easily could have said, "Hey, I'm getting undressed."
But yeah, and just how I look at it from my view, like I understand that's the universe and all that, but WWE does that shit all the time.
The whole point I was just trying to make with it is that I think like even her and these the little sexual kind of comments or whatever little shit she's doing, I think it's all kind of gearing towards maybe her role at WrestleMania because she'll probably be doing a lot of shit like this, interacting with wrestlers and people backstage, and maybe we'll get the odd 1-2 celebrity they drop in or whatever.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
Do they usually have like a celebrity host for WrestleMania or something?
Typically, yeah. Not
Sometimes.
this year, but
Who was last year?
I could do without a fucking host though. Like, can we just get back to some good wrestling?
Well, you need a host
maybe?
to.
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Should we get to SmackDown?
Yeah.
We probably should. We're at 50 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
We covered a lot of Raw, right?
Oh, definitely.
That was all Raw.
No Ronda talk at all, guys. Maybe
can't go down that road.
Should we?
A little bit.
I think maybe we should actually. What about your boy there, Travis
Brown Hoppa? Your boy Tanner.
You know how much?
I don't know much about this guy other than he's Ronda's wife.
Don't get me wrong. You found the UFC, but he's nothing special.
At one point, he was on quite a
with
tear.
the caliber wasn't
At one
high,
point.
but
What
yeah.
is he, heavyweight?
Yeah, he is.
He looks like a big boy. That's why I figured.
He is a big boy.
Yeah, so that segment there.
How did that even work? Like, she was with Brandon, and then she ran down with Uncle Dana, and then all of a sudden Travis comes in the mix. Like, what?
I don't know.
Poor Travis. She just got passed around like a ring girl, bro, and Travis was like, "I love you."
Jesus, Murphy.
I don't know too much about like.
Yeah, Ronda's love
no,
life.
like to a certain degree I do, but like to a certain degree I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Just tomato Dana. Just.
I definitely just don't. Let's move
so I gotta
forward.
keep it PG.
Yeah, well, it's not PG.
I know, but
don't
I can't
care.
be like.
It's yeah.
No, but anyway, this match was the
She got a
quick.
fucking train ran on her.
Was it for the title actually?
Yeah,
right,
it was.
right.
Yeah, it was. So that's I thought it was fine. Like,
I haven't watched any clips. I know you showed me a few about it, so I haven't watched it in a bit. It's
basically-
kind of see her cool like as a heel because she was always like you said it. She was a heel in UFC.
That's what I like. Yeah, I feel like this is her. She seems very
She
comfortable.
has a good heel face.
This-
She always has that angry frown.
Yeah.
She always looks like she's pissed off.
Yeah,
something.
it's funny you guys say that because right before, and I know we just had this long conversation about real and not real, but but seriously, right before this match happened, I think it was the first time, and it was probably because of the frowning and the focusedness in Ronda's face. I was watching, and I was like, this reminds me of her before a UFC fight with Ronda.
Yeah,
It actually did. I genuinely got that.
She always had
she
that
looks
face,
like she used to before she would fight in UFC, and it was
exactly.
like, don't fuck with this chick. Obviously, until the end when she lost and stuff, but still, for a time, she was.
She's got a big old slice of humble pie.
She was fucking the shits
Yeah,
for quite a time. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, her being a heel is great. I want to show Tanner the clips that she's posted online. I wish we had a chance to show him that before we hit record, but whatever. We'll show him after. And Travis Brown punching the security guard and Ronda being all crazy, getting dragged away.
Do you think we're gonna see more of him? Because I kind of like that they brought him in.
You
I
think
hope
he's
so.
gonna
Yeah.
like integrate into WWE?
I'm down for it.
He has the
I'm down for
size
it, yeah.
for sure.
I'm down for it. Even if it's a slow thing where he starts out where he's just with her.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that he wasn't ringside.
Yes.
I liked that he was sitting in a chair.
Like
front,
behind, with the fans.
It wasn't just like he's banging on the mat. Let's go, Ronda. Yeah. Because it just wouldn't have made it. Like, we've never seen him before, so don't have him on
And I
his.
feel like that role is actually so underrated. The person that actually has to sit ringside and like constantly like say stuff, hit the bottom of the mat.
Oh, yeah, the
keep it
managers,
right.
of course.
Like, you literally have to constantly be doing something. You can't just stand there and watch the match. And so I think that's a really underrated position. And someone like Travis Brown, who has no potentially background with wrestling whatsoever, imagine him trying to do something like that. I think it just would have been cringe.
No, you're absolutely right, Tanner. And
But
that's
I
couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. And you made a good point too. Like when he did the hit on the bodyguard, like I remember you telling me about it, and we watched the clip of it, and I was like, he did a good form, like the fake hit and all that. But like you see him, he went a little far with it. Eh? Like he caught him on the chin.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what that elbow felt like. Well, maybe not curious, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, good for Ronda. We'll see what happens with her, Charlotte, and Becky, and we'll get to the WrestleMania 35 preview next week with Shane.
Yeah.
First time on the show.
Yeah.
How about that
So
hemp
that'll be
belt
cool.
though, eh? It was the first time I saw that today.
Good segue.
Shit, man.
Look at the segue, man, here. Right into SmackDown. Like a smooth
transition,
sailing slip and slide. I like it.
Oh, man, that belt is clean, man. I remember when you told me about it, I was just laughing. I saw the thing. I was like, that actually looks sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not blue.
So, oh, man.
you hate the colored belts, eh?
Well, if Kofi wins the belt at Mania and he comes out on SmackDown with a blue title,
No, I'd be Jamaican flag, man. Come on, you know.
no, it'll
you know how
probably
they
be
do.
pancake color.
At this point.
Booyos.
Well, that's one thing I want to talk about with Kofi. I hope.
Pancakes?
No. I hope that he needs to change his gear. It's too tag team right now. He needs to have a
New
different.
Day's always had that issue.
Tanner was talking about how much he loved it the whole
No, but
night.
he needs his own set of gear from what they have. Like he still looks very like he's a tag guy to me.
Well, all of them
right
we're wearing the same gear.
That's what I mean, though. But now that Kofi's fighting or trying to contend for the main title, I want him to rock his own style again.
You know, I feel like New Day's done their thing for so long now, and potentially the only way for them to actually get like the views that they used to have back in the day when because they were like the biggest tag team. You know, for
they were a big
while.
deal. Yeah, they were a big deal.
Yeah. Kids love them, promotion, merchandise,
long title
all
reign
that.
and
Yeah,
shit,
long title reign. You know how much I disdained that and hated it, but but I think for the only chance of their survival or like to regain popularity on that is probably just to separate them.
You think so?
It's the only way I could see it.
Well, we've had these talks. Like, I think me and Nick are kind of on the same page in thinking that like they could still do separate things and still be a unit.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool if Kofi or if Big E and Xavier kind of went into the tag team again, and then the three of them maybe had belts or they did something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like the Wyatt family. You know what I mean? You hit a certain point and you hit a peak level and you can't go past that anymore. And like look at Buddy now. He was even the main star of the Wyatt family.
Braun.
Braun was just the muscle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now look at him. He has so much star potential.
But I feel like the Wyatts were very like cursed with like injuries and a guy falling out and one guy coming in. There was always very flippy floppy with them too. But where the New Day's been more of a consistent, the same three guys. With the Wyatts, you got to remember sometimes.
But to say one of the members of New Day couldn't be like Braun Strowman, we don't know because they never potentially went down that path or tried separating them and see what they can do individually.
Yeah, but I think
both make good
ultimately
points.
Maybe I don't know, and I don't want to say this just because, but Xavier might be the one to get the short end of the stick at this point.
I would agree.
You know?
I would agree because what's his name? Big what?
Big E.
Big E. I'd say he's probably potentially the best one of the three. And then Kofi. Kofi's getting blown up. The fans love him, like Celsa said. Like Becky there or whatever.
Yeah.
And Kofi, or sorry, Xavier. The only thing I remember about Xavier is like, you know,
video games.
No, banging. What's her name?
Oh, Jesus!
What's her name?
Where's the hit the alarm or something? Yeah.
Jesus.
I want the
Paige. You know they're making a movie about that, eh?
Oh, we know. They showed probably 7 commercials.
That's true.
Every Monday night.
WWE loves to play their shit on their shit. So.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of commercials for that. I want to see it. Don't get me wrong.
It actually potentially looks good.
Yeah, and it got, wasn't it like an 89 on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that?
Wow, it's pretty good for Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it did really well. I don't know if it's gone down since it came out, but when it first launched that first weekend, it was really hot.
Some like Kim Kardashian shit. This girl literally is like getting jizzed on the face and on the belt.
Whoa!
And she somehow holds and retains a position as a manager and gets a movie. Like, damn.
Well, the movie was well in production.
The movie was in the works
for a while,
all that. Eh?
Oh yeah, I'm sure Mr. Rock was not too pleased when he found out what happened.
When he found out, he probably was like, yeah, I get it.
These are the comments of Tanner and Tanner alone.
You gotta love it.
Yo, Donald loves it.
Yeah,
He holds it in. He knows what I'm thinking over here. He knows what I'm talking about. Eh?
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, wait. Let's get back on track. Sorry, boys.
The New Day. We were talking about the New Day. Yeah, that's how we got to Paige. Okay.
So we got to Paige.
No. My whole thing here is that like with Kofi, I hope that change the gear. I don't know. Don't you think so though, man? To just see the three of them wearing the same shit.
It gets old.
And if it's
at
WrestleMania, like
it hurts my eyes because the same colors every time. It's like green.
Rock
blue.
your own shit. Like, and I think he will if he's gonna fight for the title. I think he'll debut some cool new.
Well, that's the thing for them to like branch off and actually have their own like, you know, individuality or whatever. Like they need to have their own gear. I think.
Yeah, or at least do those guys in the tag and him.
Yeah, and then
black,
when they're solo,
yellow, whatever.
Yeah.
How about him 2K'ing his way through the fucking roster this week in the main event?
Yeah, see, I didn't have as much of a problem with it.
I'm kind of cheesed that it took this long for me to get to it on the show,
the 2K.
But 58 minutes in. But yeah, this was fucking bullshit, man. I'm sorry. Nobody should be able to beat Cesaro, Sheamus, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, all, let alone in the same night, in a row.
Well, going back to real or not real, it's wrestling.
That's an interesting. No, that's a good point though, because that's what I said to me and Nick were kind of talking about it yesterday a little bit off record, and I was like, well, that's just kind of how I look at it. Like,
yeah.
and it's not like
it depends. Like you both are hardcore fans, but you both have different opinions on it. So you were okay with it, and Nick did not.
I just can't. For me, I was watching it. I'm like, this is just not believable at all.
But
like,
I was more
can't
okay
even
with
get behind this
because of the way he won. It's not like he. fucking Superman punched his way through every guy. Like,
no, they're just like quick.
He was getting some like quick pins.
It's like the surprise ones. Their legs are flailing. He gets a pin. They get up and they're like, "What the fuck happened?" You know, that type of thing. But
I have almost too much to say. Like,
no, say it. Yeah, get it.
The leverage pins I'm fine with when it's a 20-minute match and the person who got leverage pinned is fucking tired.
But not like 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Not that quick.
How long was each match? Would you say averagely?
10.
Yeah, not too long.
But either way, like Randy Orton to me shouldn't be getting leverage pinned, or Samoa Joe.
Like Kofi.
5 minute. Not even. But the Kofi stuff is not. It's the length of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Leverage pins are fine. It's just, to me, a leverage pin makes sense when the two guys are tired and the one guy gets the leverage over him because he's tired and they've been going for a while. Like, Kofi was dead and these guys were fresh. And it's over. It's done with. We've moved on. Daniel Bryan won the match, and we're going to find out next week what Kofi Kingston wall what he has to climb through now to get to WrestleMania. But I just personally didn't think, watching it was believable. Like, it just, I don't know. I was watching it going, I kind of hope he loses just so that this seems kind of, Tanner, real.
A little bit contradicting there, but no, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
One question though. So each match was averagely 10 minutes.
Roughly.
And how many people did he fight?
There was about 5 guys, and it was about 50 minutes.
Kudos for him wrestling 50 minutes straight.
Oh yeah.
And he lost on the 6th to Daniel.
Yeah. Well, he had won, so he celebrated, quote unquote, with New Day.
Yeah, because Vince told him you gotta go through these people and you'll get a shot at the belt or whatever. And he got through those people, and then Vince surprised him and tossed
one more man,
Bryan out of here.
Which is, it's so ironic because 5 years ago this was Daniel Bryan having all this same shit done to him.
Yeah, that's the funny.
Fair enough.
Funny
Yeah.
Being told that he was a B+ player, like you mentioned to me, Donovan off pod, and Daniel Bryan calling Kofi a B+ player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince being the one who was never behind Daniel, but now Vince is bringing Daniel out to fight Kofi. It's the dynamic there is very cool.
Yeah.
And I said it last week. At this point in time, this should close fucking WrestleMania. This is the most hyped, the most everybody wants to see this. And I know it's Kofi and Daniel Bryan, whatever. I don't care. Put the match that's the most hyped here. I mean, if it's not, Mr.
You were the chosen one
himself.
That was fucking amazing.
And
who is the chosen one, Nick?
The big dog himself, main eventing.
I still can't get over you have that clip. That was amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Well timed.
You know what's awesome about the clips, not to go off topic, is the first time I've busted out the 2 Star Wars clips is Tanner being on the episode. Yeah. Because that's the first time I've ever used either one of those clips was tonight.
You were the chosen one.
I
loved you like a brother.
Shout out to Celebration 2017.
Shout out to Obi, man. Legend.
Yeah.
The GOAT. The GOAT.
Let's move on because we're getting long. But babyface promo by Miz and Shane.
Yeah.
Don't buy it.
Really?
I hate him as a babyface.
But you haven't seen much of it.
I don't give a shit. I don't know. It's just even the clip he showed me. I don't know. I haven't watched it or seen much of him playing a baby. But it's just like, man, if he's not a heel for me, I really could give a shit about him.
I totally understand where Tanner's coming from.
Yeah.
Because you haven't seen the whole build with the Shane and Miz tag team. Shane turning on Miz at the pay-per-view and beating the fuck out of him in front of his dad, and then grabbing his dad's by the face.
That potato head.
Calling his dad a baked potato face.
No way. I gotta see that audio clip.
Yeah, he's like his dad with his baked potato face.
I know they had probably a good lead-up and story for you to feel like sympathy or pity for the guy, but like, fuck Miz, the amount of shit he did in the past, man. If anything, it's karma came full circle.
That's
funny.
That's a good way to
all in playing devil's advocate too. Like, I know we didn't watch the full promo before, but I thought he did a good job of kind of explaining his past histories and everything. That he people didn't like him.
He talked about that.
When you ask when people think of Miz, what do they think of? The dirty shit he does.
He's definitely more known as the bad guy for sure.
That's what I mean. I don't really. I know I haven't seen it, but I probably just have a hard time buying into it and like feeling bad for him and be like, well, oh yeah, no, he's trying to be a good guy now. What happened to him was bad.
The crux or the core of him turning babyface is the putting in the time. So he's one of these guys that people now respect him because he wasn't given anything. He wasn't given opportunity.
I don't disagree with that. He's worked to potentially to get where he is.
That's where they're going with how they're trying to get him cheered.
Oh, so they're using that as a babyface tactic. That's
they're he's because he said, like Donovan said, I wasn't always liked. I had to get through the boos and stuff like that. they're using that to
Yeah, I can see it as a plausible way to win. So might even win me over.
No, but all that being said, like I even said a couple weeks back, I don't know where it's gonna go. Like I'm not particularly like I just don't. It's hard for me to see him overall as a babyface. Yeah, right now with this storyline, but I'm curious as to how he will thrive after.
Same.
And
yeah,
that's what I'm curious on.
Because when this segment ends,
this promo was good on SmackDown. I loved it. I liked this promo. I thought he did a good job of kind of explaining himself in this new light. Within reason. Within reason.
It was a great promo.
So
I just hope they run that segment, or he's just going to have to be a heel again.
I'm more curious to see what happens after the fact. I'm excited. I want to see the match, the chemistry, how these two work together, what happens. I don't really know who's going to win. I don't know where to go with it. We'll talk about that later. But
for sure. I do want to bring up, I just love, Tanner brought up a really good point in the sense that it's karma for what he's done. And Tanner, like, as much as he's a casual fan, he's seen more than, Joe Schmo who never watches Raw so you know that he's done a lot of bad shit in the past. You watched a lot of him and Daniel Bryan feuding each other.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's weird for you to see Daniel Bryan the bad guy and Miz the good guy.
Yeah.
It's totally,
But I love Daniel as a bad guy. Yeah. Fuck, I love him as I didn't really like him as a babyface, but I love him as a heel, and I don't like Miz as a babyface, but I enjoyed him as a heel.
As a heel, yeah. But no, I just like the fact, because you're right. It in a way, you could look at it as, hey man, this is karma for you being a douchebag for 11 years.
Shit. You ain't getting no sympathy from me. But they're coming with the plausibility or the point across that he got to where he is by being a hard worker and, not being given anything. I can see how that can win over some people and make him a babyface.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I have to watch it with you guys and see if it changed or swayed my mind a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see how you feel at WrestleMania too, who you'd be rooting for.
Yeah.
How about this segment?
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Another show.
Yeah, another show. Carlito and the boys.
KO.
Piper's Pit.
Yeah, that's the OG. That's the original. But we watched the clip of this, Becky and Charlotte fighting each other. To Charlotte, I will beat you up.
Was that supposed to be Irish, bro?
No, it was Charlotte.
That was a good Charlotte. That was a good Charlotte. I like
she
that.
said that.
That's
like,
a good one.
I was like, really?
That's pretty good.
It seemed awkward.
That's pretty good. Eh?
Pretty good. There you go.
Don't get turned on, Dono. Eh?
Whoa. I told you, I am a non-sexual character on the PWLB.
Plug it in.
Whoa.
I got to unplug him after the show.
You have to rewire him.
Yeah, well, he needs some work, but
at PWLookBack.
Yeah, that's where you can follow us.
Thank you.
He's glitching.
So, did you guys like this? I mean, I don't think we needed to see them touch each other anymore.
Oh no,
yeah.
No, he brought up a great point because Tanner doesn't watch week to week and said
it's been months and I come back and I see that I'm
like
this is still happening.
Yeah,
this is still going on, boys. Like,
you've been gone for how long? You come
over
back
60 days.
And Charlotte and Becky are still fighting each other.
Right back to square one again. I see.
Well, Ronda's in the mix now too. So that'd
be sweet. Those three.
That's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Well,
Mania.
Who's Natalie with? Is she with one of them?
No, Natty's. We didn't talk about it in the Raw segment, but we went too long anyway. So Natty's doing a tag team stuff again. We'll talk about it next week with the Boss and Hug connection, and then Nia and Tamina.
Some kind of 8-woman thing.
6. Or the Iconics will be involved, right? Yeah. So you're right. There's not much to talk about.
Them fighting again,
Them fighting, and then them being outside the ring, getting back in the ring, and then let's cut to Dasha Fuentes backstage with AJ Styles while the two are still fighting.
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
fuck. Why isn't there a feud over? Didn't Becky win? Or
Charlotte? It's a long story that we probably shouldn't get into now.
True.
Basically,
that's true.
Becky won the Royal Rumble and then challenged Ronda for the title at WrestleMania, and then got screwed over because they added in Charlotte. And then took Becky out, and it was a whole thing. But
so essentially, the feud's not over.
No, it's a triple threat. They're all fighting each other.
God,
it should be a singles match, but for another day. But they cut to AJ Styles backstage talking about Randy Orton and stuff, and I'm excited for that feud and the promos they cut. We talked about it last week on the roundtable.
I love my Christian boy.
Yeah,
I'm atheist, by the way. But Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Dono loves his perm every time. Yo, look at that perm.
Yeah, man. He had a
beautiful.
good do. He had a good do going on, AJ.
He's like the poster boy, you know?
The straightened hair was very straight.
Tanner, as a casual fan, are you excited to see Randy Orton versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania? Does that sound like a marquee
Randy Orton
match
doesn't really... No,
Randy doesn't do it for you? Really?
No.
I think if we showed you that promo, though, Randy might do it for you after that.
Yeah, I like AJ, but, I don't know. Randy's just like...
That stale bread that you always talk about?
No, but I would have
stale bagel.
Dude, I would have said the same thing before I saw that promo last week, so I don't blame him one bit.
Oh, it must be a pretty lit
But see,
promo.
me, even before that promo, I was kind of pushing for this match just because I want.
Yeah, you called it 3 months ago.
No, Mike, whatever. I'm excited to see them go at it. Even if this promo didn't happen, I just feel like AJ can bring out that fire in Randy.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Randy hasn't really, I can't remember the last time he had a
even like Hell in a Cell
4.5-star, 5-star match.
Him and Luke Harper a couple years back. Whatever random No Mercy that was leading into him and Bray, that was a fucking money match.
Might have to go back and watch that because I don't recall. I remember obviously the whole Bray and Randy stuff, but I don't remember the Luke Harper match.
Yeah.
The Iconics, you want to talk about them at all?
Yeah, so they're kind of mixed into this now. I'm confused. Like, is it going to be a big 8-woman thing?
I would imagine so. They had
get everybody on the card.
Yeah, apparently I heard 17 matches this year.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true, but that's fucked up if that's the case. I've talked about this before, and WrestleMania should be you earn your spot.
Yeah.
How many teams make it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
How many wrestlers should be on WrestleMania? Not the whole fucking roster.
Yeah, well said.
If you should earn your spot on the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, it's
so, and I like the Iconics.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Yeah, it is going to be an 8-woman tag, I would imagine at this point. And they had the singles match with the distraction win.
I was a little surprised
for Peyton Royce over Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
I think they just had to get
them involved
and some positivity around them because maybe like plant the seed that maybe they could win at Mania because they beat Sasha. They probably won't, but you got to let people think somehow how could they win? Well, she beat Sasha, so you never know. Anything else from SmackDown? Oh, I guess Ray. That little segment we watched with Tanner with Ray and his son.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it great? It's the first time I've seen his son, and I literally thought it was like how like Kurt Angle and the one dude is his son or whatever. Like, I was like, you're lying, right? That's not his son. Like that's just WWE storyline. No, that's his son.
That's it.
He must have married Amazon.
Dominic.
Are we able to pull up a picture of his wife? Like, what is she?
I don't know.
Like, how his kid looks like he's 6 foot. I know, like, what is
he's big, and his wife could be tall. I'm not sure, but I mean,
she gotta be. Those genes came from somewhere.
It was cool to see Dominic back on TV after him.
That's the son?
Yeah, Dominic.
How old is he? Still in his teens?
No, I would say maybe 20.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Because he was a little bit younger than us when I was watching that storyline with Eddie Guerrero. And I was probably 11, 12. He was probably
9.
You think he'll do the circuit in Mexico first before maybe getting drafted over to WWE?
Oh yeah, and he's already been training. Like I was telling you guys before we hit record, I've heard Ray talk about it, and he wants to train him everywhere. So he wants him to learn Japanese style, Mexican style, European style, North American style, and he wants him to be an all-around.
He already did a round with Lance Storm over in
Canada too.
In Calgary.
Can you imagine us like now being like 35 years old and we just see this moment that he like works his way up and puts on his dad's mask?
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Just some like legend status shit.
He might take the Junior name again too, because remember Rey Mysterio used to be Rey Mysterio Jr. and then they dropped the Junior when he came to WWE.
Yeah,
because he's not the original Rey Mysterio either.
Who was his dad?
No,
somebody else.
It was passed on.
Yeah,
it's like one of those Mexican things, traditional,
yeah,
passed on generation type thing.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was that was a cool segment. Cool to see Ray with his son, and then I think Ray and Joe is gonna be fucking great at WrestleMania. You can't really.
It's we kind of talked about Joe and a long reign and stuff. As much as I kind of want to see Joe do some things, I kind of want Ray to win that belt, man. That's something I'd like to see.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would rather Joe because of what we talked about, and I want to see him have a long run. My worry with this match, and we just talked about 17 fucking matches.
That good old
what?
That 5 o'clock slot, that pre-show.
No, well, let's hope not.
I love how you winked while you were doing
no, not the pre-show because that would be even worse. I'm thinking that they might only get 7 minutes, 8 minutes to have a match, and it's not going to be very long. And that's, I guess that's what we get, but I would rather see these two go at it for 12 to 15, possibly 20 minutes. That'd be wicked. We're just probably not going to get that.
I'm going to look at it from the positive side and think back like 7 years ago or something, just to pick a number. If you told me I was going to see Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe at WrestleMania, I would have been like, okay.
Random.
It's just random. It's cool.
Yeah.
To see Joe finally
I like that as a marketing and even just like as a casual fan. That really pulls me in a lot more than AJ or...
yeah?
And you're not even a Joe fan, but you're curious to see
you know how
him.
I've been pretty vocal on previous podcasts about how I disdain Joe, but I think Joe and Ray is just like a beautiful matchup, honestly, compared to Randy and AJ.
No, for sure. And like, hey, that's why we like having you on here, man.
Yeah.
The casual fan.
Thanks, boys. Thanks. It's good to be back.
Totally. I think that's SmackDown wrapped up, but I do have a couple questions I want to get out.
Yeah.
And these are specifically for the casual fan.
All right.
Feel free to answer
Let's
as well.
run through this.
Don,
Yeah.
But I just got a couple. There's two.
Mm-hmm.
One is about WrestleMania, and I just want to give you since we've talked about it for an hour and 14 minutes, which of the three biggest matches, Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and or if we get it, Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, which one do you, as a casual fan, think should close the show? Which should be the final match that we see?
Close it, the Brock one.
Brock and Seth?
Yeah.
And is that because Brock's star power?
Yeah, and like how many times have they closed the show with Brock?
I can tell you why.
You were the chosen one.
I don't think that was
tough.
Brock being the one that was the reason why those shows were being closed, in my own personal opinion.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you have a lot of star power there, but I would probably say the Kofi one would be first, and then the middle one would be the girls, and then the closing would be the Lesnar. That's how I'd put that list.
You'd open the show with the Kofi Daniel Bryan match, put the women in the middle of the show somewhere, and
that's how I would do it.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
What do you guys think?
I still think it's, as of today, when we're recording this show, March 21st, Thursday, March 21st, 2019, I think it should be Kofi and Daniel. If that's obviously happening, we'll find out next week because Kofi got screwed over again, but I don't think we're going to get a swerve at this point. I would go with that, and that's only because of how over it is with the WWE fans right now.
Yeah, I think the smart move in the long run is to have Kofi be on last. But then I think if Kofi wins the title, I don't think Seth Rollins is going to get his belt over on that side of things.
We don't think that both.
I don't think both of them can get it. It could happen. It could, but
for sure.
No, yeah, I got you.
Realistically, what do I honestly think that they're gonna do? I think they're gonna put the women at the end because they've talked about it as the main event for so long, and it's been.
It's been talked as the main event.
It was, and there was a time 2, 3, 4 months ago, or maybe 2, I don't know, where it warranted being the main event. But,
for sure.
But then Kofi got so much. Becky didn't. It's not that Becky went
Kofi
down.
blew up. Kofi's one of those situations where like the fans just blew up, kind of like with Becky, and then obviously WWE has to go along with it.
Exactly. Good
for him though. I'm happy to see he's getting some recognition and all that. But
11 years.
You know what I mean. They kind of chose it, and then I have two more for you, Tanner. But I'm just gonna let you pick. I'm gonna read them both to you, and you decide.
Yeah.
Either I want you to give me your favorite thing about professional wrestling, or. And you can give me both if you want. We're running long, so it's up to you.
Yep.
What would you change about professional wrestling?
Oh shit, those are two tough questions. Yeah, those are good ones. So shit, I'll probably have to go with the second one.
So what would you change?
What would I change about professional wrestling?
It could be one or two things. It doesn't have to be necessarily one, or it could be one major thing. Like everybody's.
Donald kind of said it earlier in it. I feel like back in, when we were young watching it in the 80s and 90s, there was just rawness to it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to say like grimy and dirty and rough and all that, but it was, it's almost so clean cut now that it's cookie cutter essentially. Yeah. It's almost just factory made now, when before, they would just go out of the bounds and they would do things that we potentially will never even see again in the ring because it's disdained, it's not correct, it's not right. People get lawsuits, I don't know, people might get hurt in the crowd, you know what I mean?
You're very right, and I'm looking over at the picture on the wall I have from when me and Mike D attended Raw this past August, and it is a very clean cut looking show.
Yes.
And when you read the word, we read it as a word that's a verb for Monday Night Wrestling. Raw means Monday Night Wrestling. What does the word actually mean? It means what you just said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of
very well said. It used to be fucking raw. And don't get me wrong, to have a professional model and have a business continuously grow, especially in this time and age and where things are.
You got to grow.
Yeah, you got to grow. Exactly. I just wish they still kept a little bit of that nostalgic or that old school aspect to it.
Certain elements, yeah, right?
So I guess the thing that I would change is not try to be so cookie cutter or factory made. Grow your business, be clean, be cut, but at the same time, don't forget about the people that are 40, 50 years old. Even you guys are still watching it and take away what they grew up on.
Yeah, no, that's very well said. And I like getting those perspectives from the casual fan. It's always fun when the casual fan is in the building.
The interim champ in the house.
The interim.
Buddy, I got the real one. Right?
Is this the house that Tanner built?
I don't
Raised
know.
him.
I can't wait for the day when we get them all, the 4 of us back in studio. But
We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
next week we got Shane coming in, our old manager at HMV. This is going to be wicked. I can't wait. It'd be cool.
Seriously, eh?
Yeah. We're going to
maybe I'll come by a little more often. You know, it was fun to do it again, boys. Thanks for having me on again. It's, always. But
Absolutely, brother. Thanks for coming.
yeah.
And we thank everybody else for listening. This has been episode 29 of the Roundtable. We're all the way almost there, Don. Your big one's coming.
Dirty 30.
Dirty 30.
Fucking Dono.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter, like I always say.
Sorry.
It's all good. Check us out, like I said, Instagram and Twitter at PWLookBack on both of those. If you want to send us an email or get in contact with us, you can DM us on Twitter and or Instagram, or send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, go get yourself a tank top. Teespring.com/prowrestlinglookback is where you can find all the merchandise. Let us know what you think.
You got Dono modeling any of those tees?
Soon, yes.
Soon.
The tank top, just cut off sleeves?
I was thinking about making him a shirt that just says Dawn with a line beside it, because
Yeah.
it's always got a different name. But
Let him show the Popeyes, yo.
you never know. If you want, check us out on Twitter.
He's
Check
a
me
hardy
out on
lad.
Twitter at Salsa, SCELSA.
At JustDon44.
You can check my Twitter at Royalty40, my Instagram at TPrice24.
Yeah, and like I said before, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. That's where you can find all the shows. Get at us if you want us to drop some of those older YouTube shows onto iTunes. We can do that. Let us know. Stay tuned for the Championship LookBack Show coming out this weekend.
Yeah, look out for that fucking top 10.
Fucking right. Thanks for tuning into the Pro Wrestling LookBack Roundtable. I'm Nick.
Don Bones Jones.
I'm your boy, a.k.a. the casual fan, Tanner.
Stay classy.